Welcome to our new webinar about the SAFe 6.0. We are very excited because we will talk about the SAFe and the new version of SAFe. And I don't want to take too much time, so let's invite Ridwan and then talk together. Welcome, Ridwan.
Hi, Eren. Hello, everyone. Welcome our session.
So we
Yeah.
are excited because we will talk with one of the SPCT who is the partner with us. So maybe I can take your comments and then we can invite Ramesh.
Yeah. Actually, we are excited about that because we are here together with Eren, and also we would like to ask lots of valuable questions to directly Ramesh. Ramesh is the very professional guy in the safe industry. So let's start again.
Okay. Let's introduce Ramesh. Welcome, Ramesh.
Hi,
Hello,
Ramesh.
Iran. Hello, Ridwan. Good morning or good afternoon, whatever the time it is. I guess we should say
We
good
can say
day.
good evening. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, all these remote sessions. Hey, good to be here again. Very nice to see you guys.
good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
So we are excited to listen the new things about the Safe 6.1. But before to jump the new version of Safe, uh, for to our audience, maybe we can start what is Safe and what's Scaled Agile framework, and yeah, what's the value of maybe Scaled Agile framework. We can listen from your perspective.
Yeah, definitely. So, fundamentally, Scaled Agile Framework is a set of guidelines that are put together with lots of observations experience in applying lean concepts, agile concepts, and a combination thereof, right? To help scale up the organization. Now, doing agile is great for a company of small size, nothing wrong with it. Being lean is great in manufacturing. We all know that. Our forefathers and all actually applied a lot of lean principles. And the beauty comes in where you take the whole concepts of lean, blend it with agile, and apply some DevSecOps, DevOps, etc. on top of that, so that every organization can actually cater to the client needs in terms of the product development. That is the beauty with SAFe. SAFe stands for Scaled Agile Framework for Lean Enterprise, SAFE, not a firefighting safe or OSHA or nothing. No. It's very safe though. We finally say that. It's safe to implement SAFe. That's the idea. Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
great.
Let's continue this with second question, and our topics. Lots of questions will be about the new version of SAFe 6.1 and 6.0. Sorry. So the first question is, what has changed the most in SAFe 6.0?
Hmm. So, in case people are wondering why 6.0, SAFe 6.0 is such a prominent version, why we are even doing this webinar, that's because it's a major revision. If you know, SAFe started almost like what? Maybe 10, 12 years ago. It started with version 1 all the way, and 5 was very prominent as of last 2 years. And now they just launched about 2 weeks ago, March 15th, they launched 6.0 or 6.0. The reason why it is called a major revision is because it really brought in lot more detail. All the concepts of scaling up were articulated so well with the supporting information. See, most of the time the problem is any framework provider might actually provide the idea, but do they offer support? That's not the case here. When it comes to 6.0, first of all, the big picture, the overview has been improved a lot. Then the foundation of business agility that still was a little bit of hazy before. For a lot of people, it's hard for them to just go to the website and read it, right? So that has improved a lot. And another cool thing that is my personal favorite is clarification of roles and responsibilities. what does a scrum master actually do in a scaled agile environment? What does a product owner do? What does an epic owner do? There were always these kind of gray areas for people, and unfortunately people misinterpret it before. Right now that is clarified with graphics and with content, etc. In addition, a lot of emphasis was given on how to deliver value in a flow based approach to the customers in a better way, in an improved way. So that's part of accelerating value flow. Not only that, that overarching goal of how to become agile for the whole business towards the across all the boundaries was also touched on, right? Now the icing on the cake, we call it, is the ABC concept, which is A stands for artificial intelligence, which is now we know chat GPT and all, how the world is going through a wave. B is for big data, because you got to make some very valuable educational decisions based on the big data at the portfolio level. And of course, cloud. If you're in the digital world, I think cloud has become a norm already for us. Like I personally live and breathe Apple or Google Clouds, whatnot, right? Knowingly or unknowingly, we are using that. So how these three elements actually help with building the future. And last but not the least is there is a better detail on OKRs, guys, objectives and key results, how they should be applied across the board. That is the beauty. So these are the six main, should we call it a theme or a concept that was really, really articulated well in 6.0. That's the beauty with the whole major revision of 6.0.
Yeah, actually, we would like to talk lots of things about these topics because all of them really important for us and also for our audience as well. And how about the business agility part, Ramesh? We know that also lots of changes comes with these new versions. So, what do you think about the business agility perspective in these updates?
Yeah, so when it comes to business agility, the focus was on improving it, strengthening it, right, in the organization. Now, as a part of that, one of the very amazing things or critical things that they articulated this time or added this time in the framework is the concept of business agility value streams. If you are a vivid SPC or a safe guy, or a girl, right, safe person, we know about operation value streams, we know about development value streams, but now what they did was, for the business to operate properly in this digital age, to compete and thrive, you need to have something good to support, which is the business agility value stream. Means how can we actually make sure we achieve that level of business agility, which is becoming like a critical thing because many organizations are facing that. Now, in addition to that, the foundational elements were updated to really help achieve this business agility. What does that mean? You remember the foundation palette on the big picture when you go to safe websites, scaled agile framework at the bottom. Now there is a real straight articulation of lean thinking. The 5 principles of lean thinking have become an embodiment of it in the body of knowledge very clearly. Previously it was included but not, it's all about clearing and clarifying, right, how to make it much better and better. Following that, slowly the core values improved. Everything is about respect for people, relentless improvement, so on and so forth. The principles were updated with more emphasis. SAFe has this 10 cardinal principles, we call it. I call them as non-negotiable principles. One of the principles had a major update, which is number 6, which is like, we need to really focus on the flow. The whole idea is many organizations still face that truncation in flow, means blockages. They start and stop and start and stop. So all those stops need to be figured out. All those interruptions need to be taken care of. That's main emphasis on that, right? Then certain updates to the roadmap and how to achieve the implementation aspect in a better way. And the beautiful thing of all is really about articulating the responsibilities. See, all these things, it's not just like a one step, okay, I did this, so I'm done. No, this is a collection of a set of things that come together that ultimately help us with achieving business agility. That's how it is. And I mean, I cannot stop, if you start, it takes like 4 days to talk about it, but
Big
it's
topic,
important.
right?
It's exciting stuff. Yes.
So I think the next question, maybe we can ask about the new safe responsibilities and also new SPC responsibilities. And safe changed the role name, safe program consultant, but we are saying now safe practitioner consultant, right? So practice consultant, sorry. So what has changed about the position of safe practice consultants? It's not about the name maybe, but it's about the responsibilities.
So I think in general, it is really not about the naming. You're still going to be called SPC, right? Once you get your 4-day implementing safe certification, you're still going to be called SPC, but instead of safe program consultant, which we used to call before, it's not about one program. Think about it. Just take a step back. It's about in an organization, you play a pivotal role as a change agent, as a leader, as a coach, as a consultant. So when you put number of hats, it's not just for one program, you're for the whole safe practice. You see, the whole enigma behind that program is gone. Now you have a better clarity on what it is. Not only that, the responsibilities now are, it's not like I'm going to just train and sit on the side, or I'm just going to coach some people sit on the side. No, it's about a 5 different aspects that together form this SPC role, which includes to become an embodiment of lean mindset, right? Lean agile mindset. To be able to help with accelerating the business agility means all the things that I mentioned before, you should be able to help with that. To be able to lead the change, having those meaningful conversations with the executives and whatnot leaders. To be able to implement SAFE, to understand what are the intricacies involved in implementing SAFE framework. And to be able to coach at different levels, whether it is team level, whether it is at a train level or portfolio level, doesn't matter. You should be able to coach the flow, because that is very important to remove the impediment. So knowing all these things that are involved, and SPC being a critical role in the organization for successful safe implementation, it makes sense to rename it, right? Saying you are safe practice consultant, not just a program consultant. That's what it is here.
Yes, it's really important about the talking about the experiences, practices. That's really valuable for us as well. And also, you already mentioned about the accelerating value flow. That's another case. We also focusing to the directly flow. So that's another important perspective in the these updates. What do you think about that perspective, Ramesh?
So again, it's a known issue with, I mean, how should I mention it? I was fortunate to work with at least four active clients in the last 2 years. I mean, working on a safe implementation takes its toll, right? It takes time. Almost consistently, people like me in the organization, in the industry, we observed that the flow is good when you start, but slowly all these edge cases will come out, exceptions will come out, which becomes interrupters for the flow. Because of it, it feels like you travel 5 miles forward, come back 2 miles, then travel 3 miles forward, come back 3 miles, like that. It's always obstruction. So this whole concept actually resulted in Scaled Agile team. Many thanks to them from my personal side, wherein they said, you know what, we observed there are 8 specific properties for flow that need to be monitored and measured. That's where the issues happen. If these 8 things are going to be taken care of, such as like, hey, what's our queue length, where are the bottleneck, who is the worker, what's the feedback loop happening, what is the WIP limit we have, remember from Kanban WIP limits, what is the batch size, all these are there, right? Looking at them and addressing them one by one in a proper objective way, not like oh, Ridwan do it, oh, Aaron do that. No, everybody knows there is a problem, but it's up to us SPCs and SPCTs to figure out how to solve it. So they came up with these accelerators, means something you can do to improve the flow for those 8 elements. And that's what is the most amazing thing, which we are already seeing the results. Thankfully, one of my clients right now, we are applying these 8 accelerators. It's like literally offering a menu of solutions saying, try this, it's going to help you. That was kind of a beautiful thing that they came up with in this version. Those 8 accelerators, again, I can quickly name them. I hope I can remember them. Is visualize and limit WIP from Kanban, bottlenecks, find them, solve them, reduce the queue lengths, minimize the handoffs and dependencies. That's critical. The dependencies is a silent killer. Invest in feedback loops. Try to keep your batches small. Optimize the in the zone time. Basically, like, don't get distracted. What is that? When you focus on finishing is what it is. And remediating the old policies, that's the killer, man. People try to implement,
Totally.
say, old legacy systems and processes. That should be challenged and sorted out. Whatever helps, we need to go. So these 8 flow accelerators really help you to solve the issues across all levels. This is not just at one level. All these are distributed, whether you're talking about team level flow, whether you're talking about train level flow, or maybe you have a large solution, or even portfolio level. And it's all common sense. I know when I speak, it may sound like Greek and Latin sometimes, like, oh my God, this is complicated. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
do it all the time, but now it is articulated in a proper way.
Sure. Thanks.
That's great. Also, in that value flow, when we are talking with some clients or agile coaches or executives, when we ask to them who is responsible about accelerate this value flow, and lots of time I couldn't take a answer about this topic because lots of agile coaches are not taking responsibilities about the value acceleration. What do you think about that topic? Because as I understood, it's now clear who will deliver or who will help to accelerate this value flow. It's just SPC's accountabilities or another roles needs to help or needs to be
There are
responsible about that.
very good observation here. And SPC, think of them as a person who guides you. They cannot be everywhere, right? It's impossible to do 1,000 things. It's impossible. Humanly, it's not possible. Maybe good old days, but not anymore. But these SPCs collaborate with individual roles. There are at least 8 roles or 9 roles, at various levels, whether it is team level or you're talking about train level or the portfolio level. You want to figure out who it is, and those responsibilities are very clearly articulated. Even there are amazing pictures, I think, that were given, graphics that were created by Save. And I recommend all of you to actually go check it out. Like, for example, what does a enterprise architect do? Previously, that was a major disconnect. Enterprise architect means what? They just sit there? No, they have a lot of collaboration that they need to do. Release train engineer, what do they do? Roles and responsibilities, so on and so forth. It's fantastic.
So the next question is the next question is about the team coach and scrum master role. But before this question, I want to ask another question. If Rudwan, if you say okay.
Yeah,
And
sure.
the question is, I think, is about the confusion, and lots of people are talking about safe with a negative way because there is just 3 roles in Scrum, as you know: Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Team Member. Do we need to another roles? Enterprise Architect, Epic Owner, Business Owner, because there is just 3 roles, and we cover the whole companies with that 3 roles, or why do we need the other roles?
It's pretty simple, right? If you look at it, do we need the roles? That depends on the size of the company and how many levels you are operating your product development initiatives, right? If you are like Iran, you and me are a team of 5 people in the company, that's it. And we build a small software. 5 is enough. We don't need an enterprise architect and a team lead and a tech lead and a business. We don't need that. The 5 people can sit together. It's great. But when you're talking about 100 people, when you're talking about 1,000 people, 5,000 people that are required to build a product, because as you know, year by year, the complexity of the product development is increasing. If you look at it, it was not this difficult to build products once upon a time, right? Now the complexity is increasing because of the digitization and all that whatnot. When you look at all these things, you need these roles at different levels. Like, somebody needs to take the ownership of thinking about strategy, and the outcomes. Somebody need to think about how to execute on the strategy. Somebody need to think about how to actually build the product and do the releases. Somebody has to talk about all the infrastructure that is required to support these 1,000 people to operate in a scalable way. When you talk about these different things, one or two people, they don't have enough hands and legs or enough brains per se to handle it at a scalable level. Again, don't get me wrong. For a small team of 5, 10 people, I think we don't need these roles. It might be overkill. But that's not what SAFe is exclusively about, right? Scaled Agile is about to build a large complex solutions, systems and solutions in a tangible way, in a articulated, properly tangible way, so that you can see the product coming out. It's not about making things complicated, right? That's the idea. That is why these roles have value, and each one specifically owns a segment of the product development initiative, and then they collaborate with everybody so that the product comes out well. That's the idea. Repeatability.
That's also a big discussion. In our experiences, daily basis, we are facing that kind of questions. Because of that, it's really a good question, Eren. Thanks. And also, let's continue with roles, because SAFe also changed really important things about the program managers to the program management. That's another shift. What do you think about the roles and responsibilities, accountabilities in product management side?
Yeah, again, product management, if you look at it, depending on a product, based on the complexities involved, it is hard for one person to actually fulfill that, right?
Yeah.
If you look at a product, it might have a technical aspect, it might have a marketing aspect, it might have a sales aspect. And one person doing all these things, it's hard in a complex world. That is why we invest in product management competency, also product management team. Think of it that way.
Yeah.
So there are like 3 people, maybe 5 people, maybe 10 people come together and form this product management team, wherein they actually help with defining the values. They help with, you name it, all the different ways to do it, right? How to deliver it, what is the market doing, are we collaborating with technical side of things, are we gathering feedback, are we managing the backlogs, defining the product. So many aspects of product life cycle are handled by this team. That's why product management is a better way to articulate things than to say one product manager, 2 product managers, or senior product manager reporting there. Just makes it much more easier.
Maybe we should say again, it is not mandatory. If you need that kind of structure within your organization, you can put these structure, right?
Again, everything is optional, right, Ridwan?
Sure. Yeah.
My method or modus operandi when I coach clients, I always suggest this. Do it what works for you, but be within the boundaries of SAFe. Because if you try something outside the boundary of what SAFe is professing, you may not get the results as planned, right? However, are you free to make changes? I believe yes. We never say from Scaled Agile point of view, we never say you have to do only this way, my way or highway. That's never the theme though.
Yeah.
This is the tested and tried way, right? Lots of clients we spoke to, and we are a collection of about 120, 130 SPCTs with all the fellows, etc. When we all contributed together, that's what is the outcome that you see in this version 6.0. So it's based on experiences. Now, if you find a different way, Ridwan, that works, please, by all means, try it and share that info with us so that for the future generation of their SAFe revisions, we can definitely accommodate it, look at it and see how meaningful it is, right? That's the idea.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ramesh. And also, we are you are unlucky, I think, because Ridwan asking one question and then I'm trying to ask one question, and it looks like we are fighting with you.
If you have any question, you can ask directly.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun. It's all good. It's all good.
And also, maybe we can say our participants, if anyone wants to ask questions, they can write on chat and then we can ask to you. So we can increase our channel, Ramesh, to ask new questions.
Sure.
So the next question, let's continue about the roles again. And as I know, role of Scrum Master and the name of Scrum Master role is changed now. So again, we are talking about Scrum Master and Team Coach, and Team Coach part added new. So why they added the new Team Coach role, and what do you think about that role and the new version?
So again, this is based on the direct feedback from many organizations and people like me who are talking. So here is the issue, right? In many organizations, hey, we have agile teams, we need a scrum master. Okay, get a scrum master from the market. Can they operate immediately? Maybe yes, maybe no. I do not know. It's an individual competency of the person, right? Sometimes people come in, walk in, they can operate in safe environment. Sometimes they cannot. They really need that help. They need to understand how to operate in a scaled agile environment, even though they are scrum master. That is why that SSM, Safe Scrum Master certification, helps. Now, the next immediate question comes into play is that, hey, what is the role of a scrum master? We all know facilitator, set up the meetings, follow through, blah, 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 blah. In addition to that, from safe point of view, we really want to have somebody who has that experience to coach the agile team. Think of it. Previously, there is a misnomer that, oh, SPC will come and coach. Why would an SPC coach? SPC is worried about the whole implementation, right? For the whole organization. So yes, they do, but is it a scalable solution? Perhaps not. That is where this concept came in that, hey, you know what? We have to clarify this. Safe Scrum Master and Team Coach. That should be the role. Now what happens is they are going to teach the agile team how to operate within the boundaries and construct of safe. Okay. In addition, they will put that coaching hat and guiding them, coaching them. That's what actually also helps these so-called scrum masters in safe to actually have a path, career path. A scrum master, maybe perhaps they can grow into a coach at the train level, which is release train engineer. Maybe slowly they can grow into the solution level. That's what solution train engineer. Maybe slowly they go into the enterprise level. That might be part of either APM or LPM team, or even they can become an SPC and help with transformations. You see? So that clarifies a lot of things. That is why I know it's a conscious decision to actually add that word team coach. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in addition, also, one more little thing. Let's say your teams do not follow Scrum. You know, right? In safe, we say you can do Scrum or you can do Kanban or you can do mix and match, whatever works for value of the flow delivery, right? Now, when it is Kanban, to use the word Scrum Master is kind of little weird sounding sometimes, right? Some of the clients told me it's not, I didn't make it up, right? And to compensate for that also, it's a great way to say, hey guys, Scrum Master / Team Coach. There you go. If you are following anything other than Scrum, means non-Scrum method of working, go with Team Coach concept.
Yeah. That's also a real discussion out of the safe, because they are trying to understand Scrum Master and also Agile coaches, the difference between these two roles. So because of that, that's really a good description for your side, Ramesh. Thank you. And also, maybe let's change our perspective from roles to another valuable themes like AI, big data in safe. Start to discuss about these themes because these are also important topics for lots of organizations. So what do you think about these topics?
They are called the ABCs of safe. That's a fairly new concept that little bit got introduced in version 5, but it was on the back burner a little bit, and then now it is gaining prominence in 6.0. You will definitely hear more information as it is going to come through in the future. But for now, let me give you a little bit of a high level. I mean, AI, artificial intelligence. In the last 2-3 months, that Chat GPT is taking over everything. content-wise, etc. Knowing that, we need to realize that in this digital world, I mean, you got to rely on artificial intelligence because it's not scalable just to rely on human intelligence alone at all times. Okay. Whatever is repeatable, due to which the human beings become fatigued, get tired of doing it, you should automate them. That automation can happen through AI very easily. That's where AI is taking a prominent step, right? In addition to that, big data big data is basically the concept of articulating and handling large quantities of data, right? Aggregate it, evaluate it, and compile it to make educated decisions. In the complex world, you need as much data points as possible. That's nothing but the feedback loops. Feedback loops are based on data, but as the organization is growing bigger and the issues in the market segment are becoming complex by the day, you have to invest in this big data concept. You have to. If you don't, then what happens is the strategic thought process of the organization may get impaired, means they may not have enough visibility into making good calls. So that's where the big data concept comes into play. And then the next one is C, is cloud. I mean, we are all in cloud, guys, right now, whether we like it or not. Gone are the days where you put something locally and do it, especially again in the digital world. Yes, you will find few companies, few clients who may say, oh, we don't trust cloud, it's hacked. You know what? It's your personal call, but cloud is the only scalable way to go forward. Think of it. I can carry an iPad with me and teach a class. I can carry an iPad with me and do a Zoom call with my clients anywhere in the world. So easy. All I need is internet connectivity. That's it. How is that being made happen? I mean, it's all the Apple cloud, you call it, or Google cloud, you call it. All the data is available in the cloud. You got to go with it. It's almost close to impossible without cloud, and especially after this COVID issue where the world came to a standstill. We didn't travel, no physical meetings, classes, etc. Cloud is the way we survive, right? That's why we are able.
Totally right. Yeah.
So you will hear more about this because already there is a appreciable amount of changes that came in the major version. But stay tuned. I'm sure in the upcoming versions, whether it is a Delta release like 6.1, 6.2, or maybe a major release coming up, who knows, right? In a year or so, you will hear more information about the ABC, AI, big data, and the cloud.
Yeah, sure.
Ramesh. And the next question is coming from our participants and Yogesh. And what's the career growth plan for employees in SAFe? Maybe we can start with the Scrum Master role, and also as Ridwan mentioned, Scrum Master, Agile Coach, Enterprise Agile Coach. We are Release Train Engineer, Solution Train Engineer, and there is lots of roles in Agile world to facilitate it. And what do you think about that roles?
Yeah, so Scrum Master side of things is easy. Now, what we need to remember, I just want to go back on the question, Yogesh. Thank you for asking that. Scaled Agile framework is all about product development. Think of it that way. It really has no influence on the hierarchical control. You see, we say that, right? It's a dual operating system. We don't want to really go with HR side of things. However, in terms of career growth plan, if you are from the development point of view, software development point of view, that's already predetermined. Junior programmer, senior programmer, architects, systems architect, solution architect, enterprise architect. That's one technical side. In terms of product side, because there are three sides to a product, right? A technical side, a business side, and the process side. Three sides to a product, any product we have. So technical side we just discussed. In terms of the business side, you can start with a BA, then become a product owner, whatnot. From product owner, become product management team member, then slowly solution management, then slowly epic owner, however you want to grow, right? That's one way. When it comes to the actual process side of things is what Eden mentioned. You can start as a Scrum Master, team coach, then become a release train engineer or the train level coach, then become solution level engineer, solution train engineer or solution level coach, and then become the enterprise coach. So these are very abstract way of identifying things. Now, if there is a specific person such as I'm an accountant right now, what happens in SAFe? You continue with the same trend. You continue whatever level you are working with. As you are growing, you jump from a lower level to a higher level. Titles have no bearing in SAFe. You can be a senior project manager, for example, out there, right? Senior PMO, member, director. But when it comes to Scaled Agile Framework, you can be part of a director of LPM, or you can be part of a release train engineer or a product management group. So it's a tricky question, but however, what you need to remember is everyone who is offering value to the product being built, they have a place in Scaled Agile Framework.
Maybe it can be better to remind our participants about the roles and also titles, So we are splitting these two terms because that is different. So we are calling just role in SAFe perspective. Scrum Master, Team Coach, and Product Owner. So that's just roles. We can change these roles. And maybe today we are acting as product owners. Tomorrow we will change to the team coach or business owner, etc. That's a different case, right?
Correct.
So maybe we should focus another perspective again, because lots of important improvements there. So we have OKRs as well. Especially in Turkey, lots of companies are running with OKR in terms of evaluating the performance issues. They are using a tool, OKR. So what do you think about the OKR in SAFe perspective? That's another important update.
OKRs again is one of those embellishments or enhancements that came in. We used to have OKRs. We had OKRs before as well, but now they became a prominent member of the big picture.
Yeah.
All right. When it comes to OKRs, the whole focus, again, the reason why we want to invest in that is, like you said, most of the organizations want measurable dimensions, right? They want to know how they are performing. And OKRs is one of the easiest low-hanging fruit to use to actually understand that. It used to be basically output focused OKRs, means we need to focus on, hey, how to increase the number of customers, how to improve customer satisfaction rating, etc. Rather, keeping it more abstract, the idea here is let us define the OKRs in a better way so that they become outcome focused. To make that outcome focused, let us have a measure there, means objective and key results. How do you know that the result is met? What are the results supposed to read so that your objective is met? That's where I want to be 90% of the market share. I need to have 6,000 new people registered this month and place the order on my site. Like that, there is a measurable dimensions. That's what is included. Now, in addition to that, OKRs are also kind of distributed now across various levels. To build a solution, what are the OKRs we need to do? Start with your strategic themes, start with your epics, start with your trains, etc. Right? So OKR slowly gets defined into key performance indicators. What is it that we need to measure at the train level that indicates to us that we are on the right track to achieve the objective? That's how deep they went in. And it's an amazing article is there on SAFe website when you look at it. OKRs on the right side, if you see on the SAFe big picture, when you go to scaledagileFramework.com, there is an icon for OKRs. I would strongly recommend everybody to read that. It's an amazing thing. Now, the beauty with this whole thing is you have a measurable way to prove what you're doing is actually helping you or not. You see? Previously, it's like hunch, right? Oh, Ramesh said so it should have worked. Eren suggested, so maybe it is going to work. No longer. You don't need to depend on a human perception anymore. Put some metrics, measures in place, measure it, bingo, you know whether you are on right track or you are digressing away from it. That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. And maybe we can change our perspective and you can ask some questions to us. But that questions, and maybe we can change our role. For example, I'm one of executive in one Turkish company or the other company. So I'm asking to you, for example, I talk with different type of guys who is expert about Spotify model, or Scrum Scale model, Nexus model, or the other models. And I want to ask you, I'm executive, and I know you are very good at to discuss with that executive. So the question is, why do I need to choose safe? Why do I need to transform it safe? Because I discussed with the other frameworks or topics, and they looks like simple, but safe. When I look the big picture, it's very complicated. I afraid from this, and I don't know how many years do I need to spend to implement that safe initiative. So the question is I think you are taking this question a lot, so I'm excited to listen the answer.
Sure. I mean, again, it goes back to you are an executive. Ultimately, what keeps you up at night? And how can I provide you with a framework that solves it in a scalable way? I don't want you to have a solution for today, forgetting about tomorrow. Don't do that. Whatever you do, whatever you build, make sure that supports your future growth. Okay? Without losing human capital. And that's what SAFe helps with. Scaled Agile Framework helps with. That's very important. Yes, I agree that that perception is there when people come here and they go to Scaled Agile Framework. It's like, wow, it's looks complicated, but it's not. When you really look at it, it's very simple. Just to give you a quick purview, you have levels of the way the work is done. At one level, you discuss strategy. That is what is called a portfolio level. Because the team members cannot decide on strategy. It's the executives that need to do that. Now, it's the teams that actually deliver the work. Executives cannot deliver the work. I'm not saying they don't do the work, meaning the actual software development is done by the agile teams, right? Software or any product development. So to connect these two and in a meaningful way, to make sure the idea at the strategy level gets converted into a product and a deliverable, some kind of synthesization need to happen. Somebody needs to take the idea, convert it into work items, etc. That's what is happening at the train level. Now you need to plan the work. You have an idea that may take 1 year. That doesn't mean you don't deliver anything in 1 year, right? You have to do it in a lean, agile way. And that's where you plan your timelines. Hey, one increment is going to be 3 months long or 2 months long, whatever it is. And then at the team level, each individual sprint team is going to be like 2 weeks long, 3 weeks long. Like plan the duration, connect the duration with backlogs. And when you look at it now, that's what this big picture is all about. You have backlogs, you have levels and how they get delivered in terms of duration. And on the left side of the big picture is the roles that help with each level. Seriously, it's really simple. I know there is a little bit of a taboo thing out there where people are like, it's very complicated. Look how many icons are there. No, they want to make sure that it is very easy for you to follow. And by the way, do you know that when you go to this big picture, you can click on those icons and there is a content article that opens up. You can actually read about it. So it is a very scalable, simple solution. But again, as an executive, if you're in doubt, find an SPC, find an SPCT, reach out to Iran, reach out to Ridwan, or reach out to me, it doesn't matter. And we will walk you through the very easy way to understand and apply it in your context. Again, the whole purpose here is, as an executive, what keeps you up at night and how can we help you to avoid that and make sure you have a scalable product development system in place. That's what the essence is about. And if they feel like SAFe is not catering to their needs, it's okay. Okay, try it. And then you will come back in 2 years, 3 years. Because the beauty with SAFe is it's based on lots of experiences from the field. The whole framework was built that way. So it's easy to connect.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah,
Totally.
I will record this session also. Use it while executives.
Definitely.
Yeah. Also, in our experiences, we are running lots of these kind of frameworks and also tools, because there are lots of valuable frameworks. They also have lots of valuable features and also some practice in it. So, for example, PI planning. In SAFe, we have a really famous event. We are calling it PI planning. So that's really important planning interval. And also, until now, we use lots of practice like that. For example, big room planning, agile portfolio planning, and also sometimes we are combining some agile practices with traditional practices. So what do you suggest us to run PI planning? Which kind of situation require these kind of things, tools, and techniques?
So there are certain things that are kind of mandatory to have a success, right? And to achieve success in a scaled agile environment while applying SAFe, PI planning is one such thing. PI planning is one of those heartbeat, we call it as heartbeat of an enterprise, where how the heart, we're not saying in the nighttime, oh heart, you are tired, you take rest, tomorrow morning you don't do that, right? It continuously chugs along. Yeah. To maintain that flow, you need to have effective PI planning. But what you have flexibility is whether you choose a 2-month cycle or a 3-month cycle, choose it, fix it in stone, and follow that cadence, right? That is going to help you with planning your executable work. Means how to deliver the work is what is discussed in PI planning. You also mentioned, Ridwan, about portfolio level planning. Portfolio level planning is all about strategizing your future. Like what is our portfolio, how we should actually budget our value streams or the products that we are, solutions that we are building, how to actually align them up. What is priority one, what is priority two, what are the market changes? It's more strategic in nature. Now, do you want to do it every 3 months? I would recommend yes, but it doesn't need to be in sync with PI planning. It should happen a little bit before, because whatever the decision comes out of the portfolio level, strategic changes, we should have enough time without too much delay that we should actually let it flow into a workable item, executable item into the PI planning. So it all goes back to, again, what is it that we want to achieve? Are we relying on a stale strategy, or are we actively pursuing a new product development? Based on that, look at it, but do not miss having the planning sessions. What name you can call it, tomato, car, jeep, but have those ceremonies that are very important, because you have to be these what is the right way, deliverable focused on a value based or a flow based system. That's what is critical. And what are those things that you require to achieve the flow? Sometimes I have seen 1 or 2 companies that they do planning once every 6 months because they don't have much change. That's their product. They don't need to do every 3-month planning just because, oh, somebody, Ramesh, said so. No. If it helps you that you don't see any changes, it's okay. But keep an eye out on the using feedback loops. Keep an eye out. If some market strategy changes, maybe COVID happened and all of a sudden the dollar change, the financial changes came in, or doesn't matter. We don't know. It's a very uncertain world. Keep the feedback loops open. Based on the feedback, you decide what helps you to adjust. That is also slowly falls into the essence of business agility, right? Yeah, strategy, agility, and all. That is the idea.
Yeah. Thanks, Ramesh. And maybe last one or two questions. And we have 8 minutes, and we will ask you your suggestions about the transformation. But before that question, let's talk about the Kanban. As I know, some things changed about the Kanban, Scrum, Safe Scrum, and Safe Team Kanban. So what do you think about that topics?
I mean, really, if you look at it, not major changes, guys. It was always there. Now, again, when you say a Scrum, people do have the generic experience of the traditional Scrum, right? So they bring that in and they try to apply it in the safe constructs. But SAFe is a scalable environment. The traditional Scrum, even though it is great for a small team, might need certain changes, such as a system demo, such as an increment, such as the way you need to plan, such as writing the PI objectives and connecting to your iteration goals, right? So that extra information is what is actually now clearly articulated in SAFe Scrum cycle, means SAFe's version of Scrum. Nothing is changing, it's still there, but a little bit more was added. That will bring more clarity. That's the idea. Okay, now the same thing when you go into your Kanban, SAFe Kanban, right? People would come back saying, oh, for Kanban we don't have any 2-week cycle that is generally used in Kanban, right? Kanban is an ongoing flow based approach. But here we are saying at the team level, you should have 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever is the schedule, because you want to do that PDCA cycle. You want to plan your work. You want to do the work review and everything. Kanban, how do you do? That kind of detail is what is brought into SAFe level of team Kanban method. Even though we are using Kanban there, you'll still have a backlog, team backlog. Stories from the PI planning are going to flow in, the 3-month planning we do. And then you're going to plan every 2 weeks based on what you want to deliver, what can be delivered, etc. Even though you are based on a throughput based approach, you still have a sync meeting every day. In Scrum, we call it as daily stand up. Here we call it as team sync. Okay. Then you're going to have a demo, because whatever you're delivering, you have to integrate upstream. Maybe the other teams are following Scrum, even though you follow Kanban, you have to do that incremental approach and demos, etc. And then follow the retro. So it's like a hybridized way, but it works. It works. So that's the way. So very good question. This actually also clarifies any of those unforeseen commentary that we don't want to hear, right? Oh, it's not true Kanban. No, we're not talking about true Kanban. We do appreciate Kanban. It's an amazing, amazing method. It helps a lot with flow, and flow is at the heart of SAFe always, right? So that's the way to think about it.
Yeah, Ramesh, I have a personal question. It's really exciting for me. So, as really experienced professional about the SAFe, so what was your wish list? What's your purpose or about updating SAFe? If you have a chance to add something to this framework, what can be an option in your side?
So I would like to add, again, this is my dream.
Yeah.
By no means the words of SAFe, but I wish I can connect with a couple of people and tell at SAFe is, I want to add a little bit more detail about HR practices. Because if you think about it, SAFe is about product development. We have these roles, etc. We are agile. But then the question comes on how to operate with agile teams. Somebody asked, right, the career growth plan, kind of in the similar path, because people do the work. So it's nice to kind of emphasize a little bit more on the HR side of things, what to do or how to recruit people, how to train them, so on and so forth. In addition, another dream is I want to really have people start thinking about how to apply different types of leadership criteria. Because if you look at it, everyone is a leader. Scrum Master is a leader in their own world. Release train engineer is a leader. Product manager is a leader, so on and so forth. There is a little bit of emphasis that is given to the lean agile leadership. I would like to make it a little bit more. But again, right, it's a fine balance you need to strike. Otherwise, it becomes too prescriptive again. That's not the idea, but just based on what I see from the trenches.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I think we are end of the session.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was very fast for me also.
Yeah, me too.
Any attendees? No questions from attendees at all?
Maybe we should ask them. Guys, if you would like to ask any question, you can write directly us and we shared.
Is it too late for them or too early?
Never too late. Also, we can maybe answer it offline. And as I know, the session is maybe 10 or 20 seconds is different with the live session, and we are talking. So we need to wait 20 minutes more, 20 seconds more. Sorry. Uh,
So, do you have any question in your side, Ramesh, directly for us?
No, everything is good. General
Right.
question to you all is when you are having conversations with clients or potential prospects, how are you pitching safe?
Yeah. Actually, it depends on their needs. As you mentioned earlier, so you told that if you need these kind of structures, roles, and also processes, you can use this stuff. But the tricky question, if you need, we are asking our clients, do you need that kind of things? Because we have lots of toolkits. We are calling it toolkits.
Yeah.
And also safe a kind of toolkits, right? It includes lots of tools, techniques, roles, responsibilities, and also good practices in it. So if we need, of course, as a coaches, consultants, according to our experiences, we are trying to decide which kind of, let's say, structures or frameworks are so suitable for these companies. And also, as we already discussed about the PI planning, for example, if they need that kind of ceremonies, that kind of good practices, we are trying to build these ceremony for that relevant client. That's our approach, we can say. And also we have another question, right, Anna?
yeah, there is another question. Do you have Baghdad? Yeah, this question is coming from Figan.
A booklet?
Yeah, Baghdad. Let me check also. And maybe Figan, can you give a bit more information about the question? And there is another question while waiting to Figan. Yeah, Mina asked one question. How does performance management work in SAFe? Is that individual performance evaluations?
Yeah, that's a relevant question for your wish list, right?
So here is the thing. The whole idea here is to deliver the product to the customer's expectations, keep them happy, right? If the product is getting delivered to the customer and the ownership of that delivery of the product is with the agile team, that itself falls into the performance evaluation of the team further down to the individual. So let's say if there is a team of 6 people or 8 people working as an agile team, and if 1 or 2 people are not performing properly, what do you think remaining 6 are going to do? They're going to tell that, right? In the feedback loop, in the retrospective, they're going to say, hey guys, I mean, we cannot be failing on this. You need to step up, etc., etc. That's the idea. So do you need individual evaluation is the first question we should ask. I would rather say instead of individual evaluation, as a team, let's sit together and see what we can improve, what we can do better. Do we need extra training? Do we need extra guidance? And that's what the retrospective is all about at the team level. Every 2 weeks we do that. You see? Now, unfortunately, when you're in the transition phase, right, many companies actually connect your salary, pay rise, etc., to the performance evaluation. I don't want to go there because that's where you're trying to handle 2 different systems. And that's back to my thing about HR side of things. Remember, I wanted to have some little bit additional details on that. That's what it is. Does that answer your question, Miss Mini?
And while waiting, Figan asked the question. The question is about the guide. Do you have any guide? And also, I sent the link, and in that link, you can find the what's new in SAFe 6.0, and also SAFe is framework, and you can see all the details as Ramesh mentioned. And in that framework, in that big picture, if you are interested in any topic, you can click and see the details. And when I surprised when I see the whole these informations, all these details, it's free, Ramesh. I think they need to sell it, but it's free. Lots of content is free in SAFe big
Yep.
picture. I think we need to read lots of that details.
Yep. All the details are on the SAFe website, guys. I mean, it's
Yeah.
an open source in our local language.
Yes, yeah.
Education wise, yeah.
It's really interesting because lots of valuable articles there, and also they share lots of templates there. For example, performance management, there are lots of valuable templates within that website. So all our audience should visit the Scaled Agile Framework website. I'm really strongly suggest you guys.
So yeah, Oz asked one question, and I think we can answer the last question coming from the Oz, and then the question is about Principle 6 is changed. Do you have any insight about that?
Yeah, Principle 6 used to be a kind of a combo about Kanban, about batch sizes, and about queue lengths before. Now, Principle 6 has become more detailed about flow, like fully in depth into the flow and the interruptions that are associated with it and how you can solve it. So it's a major change. It's a major change. That one principle really changed a lot. Who goes? Oh, I know him. He's from Canada, right?
Yeah. He's from also Turkey. He's from Turkey, but he is living in USA, and he asked lots of questions in our session.
So, it's going to take another 1 hour to go through all the details, but it did change a lot. It did change a lot. We really, what is that I wanted to say? In brief, basically, the whole focus was on the eight interrupters that are there, and what are those 8 accelerators that are going to help improve the flow. That detail was included as a part of that change.
Thanks, Ramesh.
It's not like superficial anymore, like, oh, high level, do the Kanban, and no. Now they are telling you what to do, how to do, etc.
Thank you. I think it's time to close the session. But before to close, do you have the last sentences? Also the Ridwan for you and Ramesh.
Maybe we should say, so thank you, Ramesh, because that's really important answers from your side, from your experiences. Also, that's really valuable for us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for setting this up. It's beautiful. As much as we can answer people's questions, that much more they will learn and try to implement SAFe in the right way. That's the most important thing. That's what I face with. Most of the clients that are reaching out to me are the ones that try to implement SAFe in an incorrect way. And they're like, can you come over and help us out, kind of thing. So anytime, please reach out to us. Viren and Ridwan, great. Thank you for setting this up. And we'll be more than happy to assist in whatever way possible. Make it right.
Thank you, Ramesh. That was a great introduction also. So see you in the next session. Maybe we can set the next session, and take care of yourself. Have a good night. See you.
Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.